Welcome to the video presentation of the new web interface of the WebdynSunPM. To access the web interface of your gateway, simply type the IP address inside a web browser. By doing so, you will arrive on the login page. The default credentials for the gateway are user hi and hi. This brings us to the dashboard, where a general overview of the product can be found. By this I mean that you will find information concerning all the devices connected to the gateway, as well as the status of the communication between the gateway and the devices. You will also find information concerning the latest errors or alarms of the devices. We will now see the different steps of the quick setup guide. The first step of the guide is the network configuration. This step is composed of the local network configuration, followed by the configuration for the mobile network in case you are using a SIM card. The local network configuration is where you can choose the IP address of the gateway for the two Ethernet ports of the WebdynSunPM. In my case, the LAN 1 port has already been configured, but by default the IP address for LAN 1 is 192.168.1.12 with a network mask of 3 times 255 and 0. The default IP address for the LAN 2 is 192.168.2.12 with the same network mask. You can then save your configuration and move on to the mobile network configuration. The mobile network menu is where you can add the information needed when using a SIM card. It is necessary to have an APN for your SIM card to make a mobile network connection. This is also where you can add the PIN code, the authentication type, as well as the login and the password of your SIM card if needed. You will then find information concerning the status of the modem and the network it is connected to at the bottom of the screen. The next step is the server configuration. This is where you will need to set the address, the login and the password of the server, where the gateway will deposit its files. Server 1 is a primary server, which will allow you to make remote modifications to the configuration through the server. Server 1 can be either an FTP, an SFTP, or a WebDAV over HTTPS type server. There is also the possibility of using an SD card for more remote sites. Server 2 is a backup server where remote modifications to the configuration cannot be made. There is, on the other hand, the possibility of using Server 2 to make connections to an MQTT server. At the bottom of the page, you will find the information concerning the scheduler, which will allow you to plan the different connections during the day. The third step of the quick setup guide is the serial port configuration menu. This menu will allow you to configure the communication settings of the 3 serial ports present on the WebdynSunPM. You can either choose to make a manual configuration of the serial ports or choose one of the presets integrated for the major inverter manufacturer brands found in the market. Once the serial port's configured, you can now add devices to your gateway. This can be done either through a manual declaration or in some cases with an automatic detection. A list of definition files can be found directly in the web interface of the gateway. And for devices that require a definition file that isn't present in the list, there is the possibility of adding definition files directly from your computer. In the control section, you will find information relating to the Lua scripts that can be used with the WebdynSunPM. Some scripts were created by Webdyn and require a license to be used, for example, the active power regulation script. But any user can import his own Lua scripts. To modify the settings of a script, simply go to the script arg section. And last but not least, you can modify the password to access the web interface. Congratulations, you finished the quick setup guide.